Hey folks, welcome back to the shop. Mercy, I'm going to tell you what, I've not been back out in the shop since last week. Last week was hot and the temperature went up throughout the week, culminating in today's temperature, 100 degrees. We hit 100 degrees here. I mean to tell you, right now in this shop, it's hotter than a big block Chevelle on the 4th of July parade. I mean, if you're a car guy, you know what I'm saying. It's hot, okay? So I didn't get back out to make anything. It's just too hot. I mean, it's miserable. It's supposed to calm down next week. We're also supposed to get rain. Good Lord, I hope. But I told you about the saga of the chainsaw. Well, you guys have been following the channel for a while. You know that this chainsaw that I have has been just that, a saga. It goes through moments of greatness, but most of the time it's moments of heartache. Well, in the midst of the project, I told you it shut off. It never did start back up, and it still hasn't started back up. So I got on the old Facebook Marketplace there, and there was one that I really wanted to get. The guy would never get back to me. Listen, folks, I don't care what you do in your time, okay? But if you're going to put something on Facebook Marketplace, be receptive to getting replies, and then contact that person. If you don't want to sell it, say, hey, I don't want to sell it. Okay? But don't just put something up there and forget that you did. Anyway, so I'll show you what I got to replace the wild thing. Okay? This here would be your Ryobi 40 volt, 16 inch battery chainsaw, I guess is what you're going to call it. So I went with this. I was looking for an 18 inch, which is what that guy had. And the reason I wanted an 18 inch is just because I'm a guy. I had an 18 inch chainsaw. I want to replace it with an 18 inch chainsaw. They're not that common. For instance, Home Depot does not carry them. Okay. They go 14, 16, 20. The new Ryobi is the 20. I actually got this at a pawn shop in Greensboro, of all things. This kit, as I have it here, was at Home Depot $239 at my local Home Depot there. At the pawn shop, I got this out the door for $170. Okay, exact same kit. Okay, I'm not going to go into a lot of details about it. It is a 40 volt. And I went with battery powered because I'm sick of pulling on a string. I want something that when I pull the trigger, I know it's going to work. The other reason I went with this is that I'm already on Ryobi's 40 volt platform. I have their weed trimmer. I have the weed whacker. I have an edger. I have the pole saw. Okay, so I'm already on their 40 volt platform. The battery that this came with is exactly the same 40 volt battery that I have for all of my other stuff. Now I can upgrade. This is a 4 amp hour battery. I can upgrade to a larger one, but have you seen the price of those things? I'll just make sure they're both charged. You know what I'm saying? And for what I'm using this for, except for railroad ties, this should do just fine. So I'm not going to give you all the specs on it. It is 16 inch, it's a 40 volt. What I thought I would do is basically take it outside and let's see how it works. I still have a poplar log out there that I need to cut because it's in the way of the lawn guy. And it's been there for a couple months and I feel bad. So first off, let's get out of this miserable hot shop. Let's go out there. Hopefully there's a breeze. I did wait for the temperature to come down. It's 7 o'clock and we're now down to at least 95. You know, so it's cooled off. No, let's go out there and see what this thing can do. I haven't used it yet. I pulled it out of the box. I charged up the battery. I have to put oil in it and then it's ready to roll. So I'll meet you outside. Okay, got it filled up with oil. Well, I didn't fill it up with oil. It's half filled up with oil. One of the things I read is that these oil fills leak always for some reason. So, erring on the side of caution. Alright. What I have here is a poplar log that I'm going to say is well, this is 16-inch bar. It's probably 14-inch. Pretty happy with that. I'm gonna go about a foot, yeah, somewhere in that ballpark. Now the problem with this is that as soon as I do this, I'm gonna have to coat this because it's gonna, you see it, it's gonna split. It's got a safety thing for your first pull. Once it's running, you can let go of that. Now, of course, that's a cross cut, that's easy, but if I'm cutting bowl blanks, I have to rip cut. And that's where it comes in interesting. So, what I always do is I cut one flat, and that's so that I can put it on my bandsaw. And then I cut one in the middle, so let's go ahead and try that out. So the chain's getting loose, but fortunately, they put the tool right on board. Let's see if it's easy as they say it is. Ooh, that's hot. Mercy. I wonder if that oiler's working. Oh, tighten that back up. I will tell you, the bugs out here are brutal. Where'd I get this at? How did it even come off of here? Oh, I see. What an idiot. It goes this way. Okay. Let's finish this rip cut. Okay, so that tells me something. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Brand new, freshly charged battery, as opposed to my old 5-year-old, also freshly charged battery. The battery did not die. It was blinking 2 dots, which usually means it's overheated. So let's go ahead and finish this up so I can put these in that 2,000-degree shop and get them dried out for turning. Okay, there you go. The Ryobi 16-inch 40-volt chainsaw. Is it as fast as my gas chainsaw? To be honest with you, in the long run, yes. And here's why. Because my gas chainsaw shut off every time I set it down, okay, which means pulling and cranking and trying to start. Yes, I had to change a battery, but I'm not beat because of that. My shoulder doesn't hurt because of that. So that's a big wasp. Hello. So I think for what I'm doing, I think this is going to be great. I am starting to look for logs that are more in the size that I need. The truth is, these poplar logs are huge. I'm turning at best a 9 to 10 inch bowl, and I've got almost 16-inch of log. I don't need that much. So I'm kind of happy with this. This is the new horse in the stable. Chris, I don't know what we're going to call this. Chris asked what we were going to call this because the old chainsaw was called the Wild Thing. Well, I didn't name that, actually. Poland did. It's part of their Wild Thing series of chainsaws. So I'll leave that up to you guys. I'm thinking something involving electric, you know. So I need a name for this, you know, the electric slide. No, no, that's a bad dance from the 80s. I don't know. I'll leave that up to you guys. You help me come up with a name for this. After those 2 cuts with this, I am only down 1 bar on my battery. So I'm pretty happy with this. I'm going to get everything charged back up. I actually have a tree up at the church that they set aside for me that I have to cut up and get home here. So this is going to be huge for that because, again, I know I can plug a battery in, pull the trigger, it's going to run. Now, the chain. I'm going to have to monitor the chain because either I didn't tighten it up enough or it's come loose again. It might just be I need to crank that down. The other thing I like about this is it's not as loud as a gas chainsaw. I saw some reviews that said, oh, it's really loud. I can cut out here at 10 o'clock at night. No one's really going to know. So anyway, that's what I'm up to. Thanks for hanging out. If you have any questions about these, that's a square body Chevy truck right there. I love it. If you have any questions as to how I cut my wood bowl blanks, because you see I got a sliver here that don't get used, go ahead and drop a question down there. I'll answer it if I can. But in the meantime, thanks for hanging out. I appreciate it, and I will see you on the next one when it's a little bit cooler. God bless.